Hello, my name is Zubin. Welcome to another video from City Sophisticate. I'm a personal stylist and I create videos about style and fashion. So today we're going to talk about a topic that's been made popular by the fashion industry, and that's about body shape. Now, the notion has evolved over time, but the main idea behind it is that the ideal silhouette is a balanced silhouette. Now, some experts say that this notion of this preference for the balanced silhouette came as a symbol in evolution of health and fertility. And other people say that it evolved over time as media influenced the population with images of what an ideal silhouette ought to be, and so that it was more of a cultural influence rather than a genetic and evolutionary one. So either way, there have been influences over time that have made this notion a popular one. So now let's jump into the 4 body types. And I'll put an image on the screen for your reference. Okay? The first is the rectangle. And if you were to measure yourself across your shoulders, your bust, and your hips, your measurements would be roughly the same. The second is the pear shape. And a pear-shaped body, the shoulders and the bust tend to be narrower than the hips. Okay? Then we have the inverted triangle, and with the inverted triangle, your shoulder and bust measurements would be wider than your hip measurements. And then finally, we have the hourglass, which is that balanced proportion I was talking about earlier. And that is where the bust and the hips are roughly an equal measurement, and then you have a smaller waist by comparison. So as a stylist, one of the main issues I see when clients come to see me is that they don't understand their body shape and thus don't understand how to dress for their silhouette. So what I will do is I will link 1 or 2 measurement tools in the description box below that will help you to identify what your shape is, and that should then make shopping much easier. And in today's video, I'm going to focus on 2 of the shapes. So this will be part 1, and then in the next video I will focus on the other 2 body shapes. So today I'll be focusing on the rectangle and on the inverted triangle or apple shape. So first of all, I'd like to start off with offering you 3 universal tips and suggestions because they pertain to you regardless of your shape or size, and they will help you to create that balanced, proportionate silhouette. So the first is to remember that your body shape is predominantly determined by your bone structure. And so what you want to do is you want to balance out the proportions between your shoulders, your bust, your waist, and your hips. So the second tip is to use lines to draw the eye. And lines may be the actual cut of the outfit, the silhouette of the outfit, or actual lines on the outfit itself. And I'll show you a couple of examples a little bit later on to illustrate what I'm talking about there. And then the third tip is the use of color and print. And so the eye tends to go towards colors, bright colors, whites and prints, more so than it does darks and solids like black and blue. So again, using those concepts when creating your outfits will help you get that balanced, proportionate silhouette. So starting off with the rectangular body shape, let's look at some celebrities and how they dress to accentuate their rectangular figures. So first we have Zoe Saldana, and I really love the way that she's using color and print and line in this outfit. So if you notice, the outfit has a nice definition around the waist where it goes from black unto white, and then it has the beautiful design that sort of creates some curve. The eye has to move to see that. And they're diagonal elements as well. So it really creates a beautiful shape, and it really flatters her rectangular silhouette. Okay. Now let's look at Kate Hudson. And she's really using color and pattern to the hilt here. So she's got a nice off-the-shoulder top, which really brings the eye out, and the yellow color is very eye-catching. And then what she's done is she's defined her waist where she goes into the floral skirt at the bottom, which again adds interest and a little bit of volume to her bottom. So another really nice example of dressing in a rectangular silhouette. Next we have Cameron Diaz, a favorite of mine. And she has gone a different route. So she isn't using color or pattern. She's actually going with very classic white and black. And as we mentioned, white and lighter colors draw the eye. So she's drawing the eye upward and then creating a beautiful interest around her décolletage with a V-neck blouse. And then she's defined her waist with a simple wide gold belt, which I absolutely love, and then a pencil skirt in black. I think it's a very classic look that most women with a rectangular figure can pull off. And of course, she's showing off her beautifully toned arms. So last but not least, let's look at the ever cool Queen Latifah. Now this look is a beautiful red carpet look, and she's really hit it out of the park with this dusky pink number. And a couple of the elements that add interest and add the curve and bring the eye across, starting with the embellished shoulder sleeve, and then how that continues on under her bust line and ends at her waist. And it really defines her body and creates that illusion of curve. And then what we have is, as you go down the actual dress, the line of the garment goes in and then it comes out with volume at the bottom. So again, as I mentioned at the beginning, you can create lines with the actual silhouette of the garment or with lines sort of across or on the garment itself. So I think she's done a spectacular job, and I love this outfit. So if you have determined that you have a rectangular figure, how are you going to dress? So you've actually got quite a few options in terms of determining which part of your body you want to accentuate. So starting off with the upper half, you can really play around and have fun with different necklines. So for example, you can have off the shoulder looks, you can have V-necks, anything that adds curve and interest. I would probably stay away from an actual crew neck or a square neckline, as that would just accentuate the rectangular shape. But then you can also go with ruffles and puffy sleeves, which are definitely having a moment this season and also over the past season or two. Then the other thing to remember is to define the waist. And so that might be with different color on the top and the bottom. It might also be with a belt cinching in your waist. And you can also do that with wrap style dresses or dresses that have some kind of ruching or detail at the waist as well. And then when you think about the bottom, because you have a leaner figure in terms of your legs, you can go both ways. You can either go with like skinny jeans and pencil skirts, or you can add volume. So you can go with pleated trousers. Wide leg trousers are definitely, again, going to be in style for spring summer 2021. And so you can add volume at the bottom as well. So really have fun with it, play around with it, and see what makes you smile. So now let's look at some celebrities who have that inverted triangle or apple-shaped physique and how they're dressing themselves. And let's start with one of my favorites, Oprah. And in this example, I'm absolutely loving her knit dress. The color is a beautiful, rich, dark green. And you'll notice in terms of the style elements, the top is fitted and structured, and the V neckline brings the eye in. And then she has cinched a belt around her waistline, and then the beautiful pleats on the bottom of the skirt part of the dress add that volume. So a very balanced, proportionate look. So next, let's have a look at Elizabeth Hurley, and she looks really pretty in pink. So the elements of this dress that really make the outfit pop for her are the gathered waistline and the V-neck that bring the eye in, and then it gently flares at the hips and creates that beautifully balanced silhouette. So next up is Catherine Zeta-Jones. And let's look at the elements of her outfit that really work for her silhouette. So the top is a beautifully structured shirt, and she's got a couple of buttons open. So basically the structure of the shirt, keep it sleek, and then the couple of buttons bring the eye in. Then she's got that beautiful belt that cinches in at her waist. And then finally, she's got the animal print skirt, which brings the eye down and so helps to balance the proportion of her overall look. And finally, we have a petite apple shape or inverted triangle shaped celebrity, Eva Longoria. Now Eva is actually doing something interesting here with the head-to-toe monochromatic yellow jumpsuit, because that gives the eye the illusion of length. And then in terms of the elements of the jumpsuit itself, the top is very simple. She's got the one shoulder look, and the rest of it is pretty simple. And then she has the belt, which is cinching in her waist. And then finally a fuller trouser with pockets at the hips. So that adds that volume to the lower half and balances out her proportions beautifully. So in terms of some overall style guiding principles, with tops, you probably want to go with something that's got a V neckline or a scoop neckline that brings the eye inward, and steer clear of crew necks or turtlenecks that basically just show an expanse of fabric. The other thing is that blouses or tops with a cinched in waist or a peplum is always very flattering as well. And then in terms of structure, shirts with a bit of structure or blazers are perfect for adding a little bit of structure as well. And so those are really good things to consider. And with blazers, probably something that is either unbuttoned or a single-breasted style would be the most flattering. Then on the bottom, you can go a couple of different ways. Again, you can accentuate your narrower bottom half with a pencil skirt, with slim leg trousers, or you can go for that balanced proportion look that we talked about earlier with a gently flared skirt that's cinched in at the waist, with dresses that are that empire or empire style, depending on how you pronounce it, and that means it's cinched in just under your bust line, which is normally for most people the smallest part of their body, and it really brings the eye in. And you can also go with flared trousers and wide leg pants, which again, as I mentioned previously, are really going to be on trend this spring summer. So I hope that you found it helpful to go through the rectangle and the inverted triangle or apple body shapes today, and that I was able to provide you with some outfit guidelines and some outfit inspiration for those shapes. But just remember, these are guidelines and just have fun with it. And then in my next video, I will go through the pear shape and the hourglass shape. So before we end off, I wanted to just take a moment to talk about my personal styling services. And I do offer them in person when we're allowed, or virtually, or a combination of both. I offer a variety of personal styling services, including wardrobe audits, personal shopping, and personal styling. If you are interested, my contact information is in the description box below. So if you've enjoyed the video, I would very much appreciate it if you would give it a thumbs up. And also, I would really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to my channel and turning on the notification bell to be alerted when I upload new content. Also, you can find me on Instagram at Zubin City Sophisticate. Thank you so much for joining me today, and have a great day.